This was the volcano that people across the league were waiting for to blow, and it blew on Friday night when the Baltimore Ravens made an offer that the Las Vegas Raiders could not refuse. They offered the Raiders 2 first-round draft picks, the number 14 overall pick in the 26 NFL draft and a first-round pick in the loaded 2027 NFL draft. The other team that was vying for Maxx Crosby, that was in it to near the end, was the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys' best offer was said to be a first and second round draft pick. Ultimately, the Ravens' offer of 2 first-round picks trumped Dallas's offer. The Raiders met Friday night as an organization, discussed whether or not to move on from a franchise player, somebody who's meant as much to that organization as Maxx Crosby has. And ultimately, in the end, with a new coaching staff, with a new quarterback coming in, they decided that this was the right time to act, to get an extra 1 in this draft and to load up in the 27 draft. And the Raiders agreed to make the trade that sent seismic shockwaves across the NFL in the latest blockbuster involving 2 first-round draft picks. There haven't been many players over the years traded for that much compensation. The last one we saw was Sauce Gardner at the trade deadline, but Maxx Crosby becomes the newest one to be traded for 2 ones, and it's the first time in the history of the Ravens franchise that they've ever surrendered a first-round draft pick to trade for a veteran player like this.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. The Las Vegas Raiders handled this perfectly. Absolutely, positively, perfectly. They really got max compensation here. They really did. Max compensation. I mean, the Baltimore Ravens, out of all the other teams that you can make a trade with at this point, you're getting the best draft pick in the first round that you could have conceivably got, right? When you look at some of what of the other teams and where their draft order was and whatnot, you're able, this is what I was talking about leading up to this, is that like you're able to now do damage, absolute damage in back-to-back drafts. It's awesome. I mean, this is what needed to be done. And Las Vegas Raiders fans, a lot of y'all owe me an apology because I told you Maxx Crosby was getting traded. As soon as I saw that interview with Colin Cowherd, I was like, I'm telling you guys, like this is real. And it was so it blew my mind that so many people watched that.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. The Las Vegas Raiders handled this perfectly. Absolutely, positively perfectly. They really got max compensation here. They really did. Max compensation. I mean, the Baltimore Ravens, out of all the other teams that you can make a trade with at this point, you're getting the best draft pick in the first round that you could have conceivably got, right? When you look at some of what of the other teams and where their draft order was and whatnot, you're able, this is what I was talking about leading up to this, is that like you're able to now do damage, absolute damage in back-to-back drafts. It's awesome. I mean, this is what needed to be done. And Las Vegas Raiders fans, a lot of you all owe me an apology because I told you Maxx Crosby was getting traded as soon as I saw that interview with Colin Cowherd. I was like, I'm telling you guys, like this is real. And it was so blew my mind that so many people watched that interview and were like, he's clearly staying. That's what he's saying. And I'm like, guys, that's not what he's saying at all. Like that. Like, say what you will if you could disagree with all my football takes, all my other takes, but like reading people is something that I know. And it was just like I don't know what to tell people. You're doing what he said that he doesn't want people to do. You're speaking for him. And I'm like, no, I'm just interpreting what he's literally saying, you know. And he got traded and it was the right move. It was the right move. He also gets to go to Baltimore. It's a win-win for him. He gets to compete in Baltimore, a defensive culture. They're closer to ready to win now than obviously the Raiders. But guys, this is the beginning for the Raiders. This is the beginning of the end of being irrelevant. That's the headline. The beginning of the end of irrelevancy. Las Vegas Raiders, let's go. I'm fired up for this. I really am. I was with my cousin last night and I And I saw this and I was like, oh man, something really crazy happened. He was like, what? He was getting all, where he's like, what happened? And I was just like, Maxx Crosby got traded to the Baltimore Ravens. And he doesn't know what any of that means. He's like, what? And I was like, he's like, you really scared me for a second. I was, because he, everything that's happened. And I was like, yeah, it's football stuff. And I've been waiting. I was like, I got to make a video. I got to make a video. And I wasn't able to do it all last night. So this is my first opportunity that I was able to like finally get out here. And so I'm like, all right, baby, let's go. And I knew, because like I'm gonna make a Ravens video as well, but I was like, I want to make a Raiders video, because to me this is a bigger deal for the Raiders. Now listen, the Ravens get to have the more immediate impact, no doubt about it, and it's exciting for the Baltimore Ravens. That's a separate video. But the impact that I think, the true long-term, like the Raiders are going to be resurrected. This is the move. This is the play that can redefine this organization. And I really mean that. I really mean that. Like I was kind of cringing listening to Adam share, because he's using such strong words, just because like I think he thinks he needs to. The seismic shifts, the seismic waves. I'm just like, all right, Adam, like it's a trade. Relax, calm down. And he said, we haven't seen a trade like this since a few months ago with Sauce Gardner and the Indianapolis Colts. Like, can we relax here? Like, can we relax? So I think when you're using really strong words like redefine and this and that, like it's got to, you got to be strategic when you talk like that. It's got to actually feel real. And that's why I'm using such strong energy about the Las Vegas Raiders, because it's what I really feel. It's what I really feel. And so that's why I'm all fired up. I've been just waiting to be able to get in front of the mic and just get this out here. I really have been. I'm fired up for it. I am genuinely fired up. Before I go any further, please, Las Vegas Raiders fans, you guys keep showing up, but please do not forget to subscribe and watch the full length of the video. When you guys subscribe while watching the video at the same time, views go through the roof, subscribers go through the roof. And I can't emphasize this enough. It's not about chasing views. It's not about chasing subscribers. It's about being able to create content that people genuinely want to watch and discuss. So I can make a video like this about the Las Vegas Raiders, so we can have a real conversation about it, so we can unpack it through the most grounded, unbiased way possible. And then it's a community for us to all discuss. It's a platform for us all to share our opinions and just get after it. And the idea that I see this news break and that I can now go make a video and we all have a place to discuss it and share our views, to me is just amazing. And that's why like I was getting anxious not being able to do that. Like I'm like, oh, of course I'm with my cousin the one night that like the biggest off-season move right now happens. I'm like, oh my God, if AJ Brown gets traded too, I'm like, I'm just gonna have to tell my cousin to be like, bro, I gotta step away for a little bit. But yeah, man, this is awesome. I'm really excited for the Raiders. I'm optimistic for the Ravens. And like I said, I'll be making a separate video from the Ravens lens. Don't worry about that. But to me, I first look at this through the lens of the Las Vegas Raiders. I just think that you're like I said, you're redefining what this organization can be, and the true Las Vegas era now begins. I mean, new coach, new quarterback, who I believe will be a franchise quarterback, and I believe Clint Kubiak will be a great coach. Obviously Brady and whatnot. You have the draft capital, like you even have like an Ashen Genty from last season. Like, look, you actually are starting to get the pieces. You're making smart decisions, smart trades. You were patient. At the end of the day, this was the best outcome. You absolutely positively maximized your return value on Maxx Crosby. Absolutely. And I think it's great. I genuinely think it's absolutely positively awesome. So I'm so excited to see what they do in this draft now. They're just ready, man. They are just absolutely ready to get after. I still think it's going to be slow and steady, right? I don't think that just overnight now you're just going to be able to find yourself in an AFC championship game or a Super Bowl, right? But like this is what you can really do, man. Like you're in a strong position just this draft alone to set your franchise up for the next 5+ years, let alone now having another opportunity to do that next draft as well. You have an opportunity for back-to-back drafts just to get after it. And as long as Fernando Mendoza is legit and Clint Kubiak is legit, they don't even have to be all-time great. They don't have to be the most special coach-quarterback duo that we have ever seen in the history of the universe. As long as they're just legit, they're both just like, hey, yeah, they're good at their job. They're good at what the NFL world asked them to do. Then this team is legitimately competitive for years to come. This team is legitimately in the hunt finally, right? You could be like, this will be a perennial playoff team competing for the division, right? Like, you become, at the bare minimum, who the Dallas Cowboys have been since, Romo Dak. You know what? However far back you want to go, right? Again, I'm saying, like, that's the floor. Obviously, you want to do more than what they did, but like, you're just back to feeling like there's a chance. Hey, we can do this. Hey, if we just make one move, maybe we can get over the, like, you feel that you're right there, and that's just a floor. And I think, considering what the Raiders have been and seeing what's just been happening in your own division, looking across the street at the Kansas City Chiefs, like, it's like knowing that could be your floor is like amazing. And like, I want to emphasize, like, that's the floor. That's the floor. So fired up, man. Fired up, excited, and can't wait to hear you guys' thoughts. So please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way of some discussions, scared of some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. Like, I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It really does help the visibility in the algorithm. Thank you so much.